Well, hooray for Hollywood. Sunday is Oscar night, that star-studded occasion when the beautiful people of Tinseltown take to the stage to congratulate one another about how daring and brave they've been in tackling the profound social issues of the day. Don't believe the hype, folks. Alas, that malignant virus known as political correctness is even infecting big-budget movies these days. Hollywood seldom takes risks anymore, so much so that I've taken upon myself to introduce a subset of Academy Awards, which I hope the real Academy will adopt. Let's just call them the PC Oscars. These trinkets go out to those cinematic achievers who have mastered the art of political correctness over the last several years. So without further ado, the PC Oscar for a studio going out of its way not to offend an oppressive regime goes to Disney for Iron Man 3. Now here's the backstory, folks. The Mandarin supervillain is to Iron Man what the Joker is to Batman. He's Iron Man's arch nemesis. So it was quite curious that the Mandarin didn't show up in either Iron Man number 1 or 2, and when the Mandarin finally did make an appearance in Iron Man number 3, well, he wasn't the Mandarin at all. The Mandarin in the Iron Man comics of yore was a Chinese badass who brandished 10 deadly rings. But in the movie, not only is the Mandarin not a supervillain, he's not even Chinese. Check it out.
He's not here. He's here, but he's not here.
What do you mean?
It's complicated. Hey, it's complicated. My name's Trevor Slattery.
What are you, decoy? You're a double, right?
What, I mean, I'm not studying. No, absolutely not. Don't hurt the face. I'm an actor. Just a role. The Mandarin, see, it's not real.
Yes, they rewrote the Mandarin character so that he's just a drugged-up, lovable loser English actor pretending to be a villain. But why? Well, Disney is no dummy. If a studio offends Chinese sensibilities, there's a good chance China will ban that film. And make no mistake, the biggest star in Hollywood is the almighty dollar sign. But how lame! Who would have guessed that the Mandarin would not be vanquished by Iron Man's repulsor rays, but rather a policy concocted by Mickey Mouse? Moving on, the PC Oscar for the most blatantly altering the original source material to avoid offending adherents of a certain religion of peace goes to the producers of The Sum of All Fears. Released in 2002, the film is based on Tom Clancy's 1991 novel. Now, the book featured Palestinian terrorists detonating a nuclear device at the Super Bowl, but not the movie. The film's screenplay writer dismissed Islamic terrorism as being, quote, cliche. No, seriously, folks. So rather than have the film version of The Sum of All Fears being grounded in relevance and geopolitical reality, the studio replaced Palestinian terrorists with, you guessed it, good old-fashioned neo-Nazis.
Don't fight Russia and America. You get Russia and America to fight each other and destroy each other.
Yeah, forget Al-Qaeda and ISIS. It's that Russian, South African, Israeli cabal that is apparently the most clear and present danger in the world today. Now, our next PC Oscar is for the most ludicrous speech to promote the green agenda, and the winner is Steven Seagal for his bizarre speech at the conclusion of On Deadly Ground. Now, you really have to see it to believe it, folks. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to run Seagal's entire 4-minute manifesto, which is nuttier than a Snickers bar. But here's an excerpt so full of greeny propaganda and conspiracy theories, it would make even Michael Moore blush.
How many of you out there have heard of alternative engines? Engines that can run on anything from alcohol to garbage or water. Or carburetors that can get hundreds of miles to the gallon. Or electric or magnetic engines that can practically run forever. You don't know about them because if they were to come into use, they'd put the oil companies out of business. The concept of the internal combustion engine has been obsolete for over 50 years. But because of the oil cartels and corrupt government regulation, we and the rest of the world have been forced to use gasoline for over 100 years. Big business is primarily responsible for destroying the water we drink, the air we breathe, and the food we eat.
It goes on and on and on, folks. Hey, Steve, we didn't buy a ticket to see you make like Al Gore at a Sierra Club meeting. We want to see you kick ass, so stifle yourself and blow things up already, okay? Finally, our PC Oscar for the most unnecessary flattering portrayal of a certain faith goes to V for Vendetta. Check out this clip.
What is that?
It's a copy of the Quran, 14th century.
Are you Muslim?
No, I'm in television.
But why would you keep it?
I don't have to be Muslim to find the images beautiful or its poetry moving.
Now, I don't recall this scene occurring in the V for Vendetta graphic novel by Alan Moore. In fact, the vigilante V is a crusader against totalitarianism and injustice, so I would imagine that he'd actually be thoroughly appalled by many of the verses in the Quran. And why was this scene inserted into the narrative in the first place? How does R for revisionism grab you? Hooray for Hollywood, indeed. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies.